This is a way he saved $5,000. He was able to refi his house to a 2.69% rate. He was then able to cash out, get $57,000 and get a 4.5% interest rate on a home equity line of credit. Now has another $57,000 in his pocket, able to do the next deal, okay? When is it a good time to flip from just doing a conventional refinance, which is rate and term refinance, to a cash out refinance? Today's market is very different than what we've experienced in the past. So it's going to be a little different here. So when should you cash out refi and when should you just do a regular rate and term refi? So it's really based off of the numbers. So right now, I had a client that were thinking of maybe doing a cash out refinance. So regular refinance came in at, the property was worth $330,000. I'm gonna try to make this bigger for you guys because I know sometimes it's hard to see. The property came in at $330,000. And right now on refinances where there's cash out involved, the most they're gonna give is 75%. Which is roughly, now to get to 50, he currently owed on the property $225,000. That's a different, he would get about $25,000 out on this cash out refi. This is making things very difficult today to do a cash out refi because the maximum you can do is 75% now. In the past, you can go as high as 80%. So on a cash out refi only being limited to 75% and getting $25,000, sometimes that would be a very good option, very good opportunity. The issue today is that for you to do a cash out refinance, you're basically paying 1.5% up to 1.5% in additional fees to do a cash out refinance. So that means not interest rate, you could still get the 2.69 interest rate, right? 2.69%, which is awesome. But you'd be paying an extra 1.5% in fees. So 1.5% in fees, that's roughly about, in this scenario, we're gonna say 44,000, I'm gonna say about roughly $4,500 more in fees to get this $25,000 out. So we're gonna round up just to make the math simple. $5,000 extra fees to get out $25,000. You're paying 20% to get out this $25,000. In this scenario, it does not make sense to do a cash out refinance because you're going to be saving so much money in fees by not doing it. In addition to this, I don't want to just give you what you can't do. I'm going to give you the suggestion of what I'm doing to counteract this situation. So now, since financially speaking, it doesn't make a lot of sense to pay $5,000 to get to $25,000. Now, if you had only owed $100,000 and you were going to take out $150,000, then it probably is going to be, in my opinion, it'd be worth paying $5,000 to get $150,000 in cash. But it doesn't make sense for pay $5,000 just to get $25,000. Because remember, this 1.5% is based off of the full loan amount. It doesn't matter how much cash you're getting. So you have to pay an extra 1.5% in fees at the closing table to get just $25,000. Now, if you got $150,000, it's still the same $5,000 because it's based off of roughly on the it's based off of the actual loan amount. So let's remember that. So since in this scenario, scenario 1, he's only getting 25 compared to say scenario 2, if he got 150, it would be worth it. What would I do? Since this is an owner-occupied house, what I would do in this scenario, I told him to do this. Refinance. He currently owes about, I think, $25,000 is what he owed. Right now, closing costs with escrows and everything, all the escrows, fees, taxes, prepays, you're looking around like $15,000. I know that's high. I'm trying to overestimate than underestimate. I'm just putting out numbers, guys. So his total loan is $240,000. His new interest rate's 2.69. He was at like 4.5%. So he's saving a lot of money in interest. The payment has gone down. Everything's good on that sense. Now, $240 is what he currently owes. I said, if you want cash out, here's a better way to get cash out without paying $5,000 in extra fees. Currently, I was able to get a home equity line of credit at 100% of my home value. Currently, because of coronavirus, it is harder to do that. But what you can do is get one at like 89.9%. That's not as hard of your home value, which is roughly 90%. 27,000, so 297. So the total loan amount you're allowed to have on your loan is on an 89.9% max loan to value is $297,000. Minus 240 for your first mortgage, because what we did is on the first mortgage, we rolled in all the closing costs. You're left with now $57,000, which is more than double than the other option, and you saved yourself $5,000 in fees. Now again, I do have a lending company. The more you borrow, the more I get paid, but I don't want you to waste your money. I want you to make the smart moves, save your money, pile it together, and get ready for your next deal. So in this situation, he saved $5,000. And remember, money saved is money earned. And he was able to get out $57,000 on a home equity line of credit, up to 89.9% of the home value. And most likely the interest rate on this loan here is going to be around 4.5%. So now, this is a way he saved $5,000. He was able to refi his house to a 2.69% rate. He was then able to cash out, get $57,000 and get a 4.5% interest rate on a home equity line of credit. Now there's another $57,000 in his pocket, able to do the next deal, okay? Now, why this works, why it's important to refinance the first mortgage first. When you refi the first mortgage, you get the lower interest rate, you drop your payments. You are now have a lower debt to income ratio, so you can get the home equity line of credit. You can afford that loan payment. That's what you have to do. You first have to contract your finances, then expand. Contract, then expand. And that's what I'm constantly doing, contracting and expanding. I just sold 2 of my smaller multi-unit properties. I'm contracting my portfolio size, I'm building up my cash, and I'm about to expand on how many units I own. So it's part of the game. Learn it. Now, you don't need to be the expert. You can have someone on your team. You can hire someone like myself to help you with this, but you have to understand the basics of it to know what moves you need to make. Oh, and just so you know, anyone that does a refinance with my company gets my course, Foundations of Personal Finance, for free. And anyone who bought my course, Foundations of Personal Finance, if they do a loan with me, they get credited back the cost of the course. So my goal is to educate everybody to get them to grow, and I want to help them along their growth.